Hey everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel. God will do it for you. My name is Steven and I hope everyone's doing well. We're back to another Friday. It's about to hit the weekend. And today's topic, what we're going to be going over is making sure we are a good steward of our finances. So when I was just praying about 10-15 minutes ago, I was like, hey God, what do you want me to speak about today? And the message came instantly. And it makes sense because right now people are filing taxes. They see what they're going to get and they are already thinking on how they are going to spend that money. Believe it or not, as soon as it gets there, it will disappear. So that definitely pointed me to this passage in scripture in Proverbs chapter 13, looks like verse 11. And it states, wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people that, especially if you have kids and, people are thinking that's the holy grail. But as soon as that money comes in, they're like, all right, we're going to get this furniture. We're going to get these washers and dryers. We're going to upgrade our furniture, this and that. So they're already thinking about how they're going to spend it. And usually by May, June, all the income tax that's been paid out to all the citizens in the United States, a good majority of it is already back into the system. So they're basically paying it for you to give it right back to them. And that's fine. If you have to use it, use it. But I'm going to be focusing more on just being a good steward of your current finances, whatever you have coming in. So that way, when income tax comes in, it will just be an addition. When we think about being a good steward of our finances, we have to make sure that we are using our money strategically, especially if you don't have the means to, splurge. I see some other people in other videos, they're like, hey, $900 used to be a lot to me. Now it's a little bit. So that's a blessing. If they're able to experience life in that fashion, then great. Just like I said in another video, the gentleman was like, I only had $15,000 in my account to spend. That again, that's a blessing because a lot of people wish they would even have just 2-3,000 in their account to look at, and not even to spend. But until you get to that point in life where God really starts to bless you with abundance, to give you more than what we deserve, then we have to make sure that we aren't squandering what we currently have. And you do that by not just not spending, because you never know when your time comes and then you're like, well dang, I just been holding on to money and not doing anything. No, it's just more so being very self-conscious of the cost of things out here. If you see that things are increasing, for instance, if you want to take your child to a play place or something like that, it's costing now, $20, 25 bucks for them to do that. And when you think of it, a lot of people don't make $25 an hour unless they have a degree or a trade or whatever the case. But the average citizen does not make that an hour. So you think in your head it's going to take 2 hours of me working to be able to supply one kid of fun. So we have to really start thinking strategic on how we're using this money, really the cost of things, and really examining like, okay, let's say you bring in 1,000 a week and you're like, okay, my expenses are this, groceries, bills, gas in the car, everything. So I'm left with, let's say, $350 after handling all the expenses. And you really have to ask yourself, I know you look in your account and you're like, well, we could do a little something out here. That's where the decision making needs to be the most serious. Once you're left over with bills, just like for instance me yesterday, I was like, okay, I got this left over. Okay, what we gonna do? Well, sometimes we just need to slow down and really think, what do we need to do and what do we want to do? We need to get groceries in the house. We need gas in the car. We need to make sure if you have to get your children's hair cut, or make sure those necessities are taken care of. And then at that point, the wants come in. Do you feel like buying fast food for the family, or you and your spouse, if y'all don't have kids yet, which we know is not cheap anymore. Fast food used to, yeah, you could get 2 meals for under 15 bucks. Now you get 2 meals and it's around 22 to 25 bucks just for 2 regular meals. So when everything goes up, you have to make adjustments. And a lot of these businesses, they're increasing the price. Every time you go back to the menu, you're like, man, the page looks the same, but the prices definitely went up. And that's because they're adjusting, but the average person is not adjusting. They just see it, they swipe, and then come the end of 2 weeks, they're like, we have no money. And then comes that paycheck to paycheck type of lifestyle, which is a very dangerous lifestyle to live, because God forbid something happens to your car, an unexpected bill, something just pops up. You will not have the means to take care of it. It won't be there. And then that leaves you to rush to credit cards, which is fine. I mean, that's what credit cards could be used for, as long as they're not already maxed out or to the brim. That's what credit cards could be used for, in an emergency. But at the same time, if your spending is already there, then it's going to take forever for you to get that credit card back down, because you're going to make sure that you hit the minimum payment just to make sure they stay off your back. Meanwhile, the interest is kind of cutting some of that. So now it's kind of defeating the purpose of you trying to get it back down, because it's going to take a while. So we want to make sure that we get the necessities out of the way. We have a good budget for groceries, and I'm a big stickler with groceries because me and my son eat healthy. And then he does not like the school food at all. He's like, forget all that, you cook. I like your cooking. And I'm like, dang, buddy, like, I'm glad you like my cooking, but you need to eat. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't even like, that's like telling me to eat McDonald's. No offense to McDonald's, but that's like telling me to eat that. My stomach can't stomach it. It really can't. The texture, my stomach just knows something's not right with that. Something's not right with it. And so it's the same thing. Once you start to take on a healthy lifestyle, your body's not going to accept, bull crap. It's just not. It won't react to it very well. You may get away with it one time, but after that, your body's not going to have it. And so with me, when I grocery shop, I make sure that we get all the necessities, fruits, vegetables, make sure I have enough for dinners, lunches. I mean, me personally, I don't get TV dinners. I can't stomach it. But make sure I have enough for lunch, get some breakfast things, this and that. I get one snack. So let's say, like, if my son likes to eat fruit snacks, I don't really give him because we want to avoid cavities. So again, just taking on that healthy lifestyle, but also just regulating, like, hey, so that way you can be more in control of how fast the money's going out. Because if you're just allowing people, you may be like, well, I don't want to control them and this and that. Well, right, go ahead and let them have access to it. All you can eat buffet of whatever they want, and then money's just going to be flying out the door, because they're going to be sneaking and eating snacks and this and that whenever they want. Because I'm pretty sure you remember when you were a child, let there be some cookies or something in there. You're going to try to eat as much as you can get away with before it's noticed, and that's it. And it's just, in my opinion, there is a better and more cost-efficient way to handle that. If you want to give your child some cookies, give them a certain amount, and that's it. That way they last more than just 2 days. If you have more than one child and you have to make them lunch and all the necessities are taken care of, and like, hey, yes, this pack of whatever you guys want is yours. So that way you're not spending $15-$20 just on snacks. I mean, I see some people's stuff and I'm like, man, they have like 15 bottles of soda and this and that. And again, if that's what you like, that's what you like. But you also have to remember that stuff takes away from what you really need. You don't need soda. That's a want. But you need dinner. You don't need cookies, but you need lunch, especially if you want to work efficiently. You don't need to go out to a bar. I mean, bars gyp you anyway. I mean, unless you just like, hey, you know what? I want the scenery. I want to have the ability to taste something different. By all means, get yourself a drink. But just keep in mind, again, if we're thinking about smarter ways to utilize our money, there's a 10 times, there's a way that you can just save a lot more and get more bang from your buck. Now, when it comes to adult drink, that's what I call it for my son. If he ever sees somebody doing it or something, you don't want to try to buy more, because then you set yourself up to want to consume more. So again, I mean, same thing. Sometimes even with a full tank of gas, you look at your gas gauge. I know my car gets 520 miles to the tank. So when I see all that available, it make you want to drive more. Maybe just put only $20 in your car, so that way you can be like, you know what, we don't need to just drive around and just look at the sky and stuff like that. Like, how about we go to the park and go here and then bring our butts home and relax and enjoy a Sabbath day. How about we don't have to always take the children out to Dave and Buster's or this and that, and utilize outside. Take your butts outside and play. You don't always have to spend money. It's that way. The times that you do spend money, it's nothing to you. You're like, okay, yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Not well. If I do this, I gotta do this. See, with me, the way I do it with my son, if we pay to do something one week, the next week we're definitely not paying to do anything. You're gonna go to the park or you're gonna play outside, which my son has no problem with doing that. Like I said, he's an outside kid because I just never really let him get attached to video games and stuff. So he actually prefers to go outside. He's like, yeah, I'll play with my drone, my remote control car outside. I ride my bike, I ride my scooter, do some tricks. I got my hoverboard. I'll ride that. So again, utilize these things that you worked hard to buy your kids instead of feeling like you have to buy out all the time. Same thing. I know some people may not want to cook. They're like, forget that. Cooking, just keep in mind, hey, you got 2-3 kids, and then plus you and your wife. If y'all are, if you're coupled or if you're single, then you're spending $30-$40 right off the bat for one dinner meal that's not going to lead you to leftovers. So again, you have to really think about your consciousness when you're spending money, and that's how you survive out here. It's not really, oh well, you're living a tight life. No, you're living a responsible life. You're thinking about more ways than just one way to save your money, because when you learn to work with what you have, and in your mind you're like, this ain't a lot. I'm well, we ain't floating on cloud nine. We're alive. We have the bills paid, this and that. Then when God elevates you and He gives you more, you'll not only make a slight adjustment, meaning like you may increase what you do a little bit more, so you may be like, okay, well, I don't have to be so tight with this and that. But the groundedness and the discipline of you taking care of what you had, I don't know if you listen to Chad Johnson and Shay Shay on that channel, but Chad Johnson, he definitely gives himself credit on, I didn't blow all my money in the NFL. When all the other guys were taking private jets, I still took a regular airline. When guys were buying 6, 7, 8 cars, I was like, forget that, and I was saving it and investing it and this and that. And like I said, just because you have it doesn't mean that you have to spend it. I know sometimes we look at it and we're like, we got 5,000 in there. Spending 100 here, 100 here isn't gonna hurt anything. Yeah, you see, you're building your brain around the mentality that, well, there's something in there, so I'm just gonna spend it. 2 months go past, it's all already gone. And the crazy thing is, it's gone already, and you're still working. So your work money's coming in, and it's all gone. That lets you know that you're overspending, and that's because you haven't created that discipline that we don't have to spend it. Maybe something might come up, an opportunity or something where I might actually need this, and now I have it. I'm able to capitalize on it. But let's say an opportunity comes in, they're like, hey, we can make this thing thrive. I got the proof. Here's a chance for you to really do what you're trying to do. It's going to require $500. And you're going to think, well, dang, I just bought a purse. I just bought some shoes. I haven't been able to do nothing for myself, so I just did all this stuff. And now the money's gone. And then you're going to think back of it in 2 days and be like, I really didn't need that stuff. It's not like I go out like that anyway. I got a husband, so it's not like I'm trying to get attention from other men or vice versa. Our furniture wasn't that jacked up. We just wanted new furniture because we got the income tax. I didn't need rims on my car. I wanted rims on my car because I saw my buddy. He had some nice rims on his car, and he said that he got rims with his income tax money. We don't really think about stuff until it's too late. And now the decision's made and you can't take it back. And you just the money's gone. So the whole purpose of this video is income tax people, you don't have to blow it. And even with your regular paychecks, people be like, man, $200-300 isn't a lot of money. It's not, but it's something. It's something. It's something. You can go out to eat with $200-300. You don't have to spend $100 at a restaurant. You don't. There's a restaurant that towers over downtown Columbia that they're advertising all over the place now, and it's all you can eat buffet for $30. So think 2 people, all you can eat, two adults, all you can eat, $60. Beautiful view. So again, you don't need to spend $100 going out to eat. People just do it. They do it. They overspend. The fare last year was ridiculous. I mean, they're talking unlimited rides. Just to get unlimited rides was around $40-50 a person. And then that wasn't counting parking. They charged you to park, and then trying to park, they were charging $20 to park, and then they charged almost $20-25 just to get in. So you had to pay. So you're talking $60-70 a person. They were killing people. And I was just talking to people, and they were like, yeah, man, I'm probably gonna have to work 2 days to be able to do that. You don't need to do that. It's the same thing all the time. It's the same thing. You know what you could do with $200 for entertainment? You could almost skydive. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you could do so much more with what you have. Sometimes we just need to slow down and think, not be so accustomed to trying to do what everybody else wants to do, and do what we want to do. And be more strategic of it. Hey, see if there's some coupons on Groupon. See if there's some deals going on that they're advertising on a particular website or whatever to save some money. If you're going to get fast food, get the app. I see it all the time. People will be like, hey, I'm going to McDonald's, this and that. And then they're like, yeah, I want a number 1. I wanted this and that. And I'm like, well, on the app, the number 1's only $6. But you're not using the app, you're paying $9.98. And they're like, oh, well, I didn't know. And they just shrugged their shoulders. And I'm like, that's just $4 out the door that you could have saved. See, some people don't think about that because they're just like, well, you know what? I just want to save. Even with the gas stations are like, hey, if you just get our app, we'll give you change off gas. We'll give you 15-20 cents off gas. And people are like, well, whatever, man, I don't be paying attention to that. And then they be needing to put 10 to 15 gallons of gas in their car. Well, you're missing out on $5. So what I'm saying is, like, we have to be smarter with our finances. We have to be smarter because there are ways to save. There are ways to save. And if those little, just like the scripture says, it says it right here in the Bible. Whoever gathers little by little will increase it. Those little pieces of chunk change that you could put it in a piggy bank and be like, and after 2-3 months, you're like, wow, that's $300 in there. And that could be going towards a nice vacation trip. Like, hey, we're going to go to the beach and I'll be able to pay for you guys to get on some rides and this and that. Or, you can buy stuff out there. And like, this is what money that we save by being responsible. Pat yourself on the back. So definitely with 2024, especially with everybody hoping and praying for more finances, they're hoping and praying for more finances because a lot of people already aren't good stewards of their finances. So they feel like they need a tremendous amount more just so that way they don't have to adjust and change their habits. When if we just change our habits and make smart, conscious decisions with our money, when that addition comes in, you will know how to properly handle it. This is why God doesn't just give people a whole bunch all the time, because he knows that you'll go crazy with it. Everybody tells everybody, oh, I wouldn't just blow it. Yeah, you would. You'd have to have it in your account and see it and watch how excited your mind gets. And you're like, you know what? That's $10,000 in the account. It ain't going to hurt me to spend $1,000 on clothes. I still have $9,000. Think, just in one day, you done took 1/10 of what you have. And it's only been 1 day. So imagine what 30 days would do. It'll be down to 3,000. And then you be like, I still got 3,000. That's still a whole lot, which is true. But guess what? You just went from 10 to $3,000, and people don't grasp that. They don't grasp that you're overspending. You're spending it for no reason, because when if you didn't have $10,000 in your account, what would you do? So then they get that, and now they feel they incorporate it in their spending habits fast too. It's not like they wait overnight to do it, wait a month or two to do it. It happens overnight, and then now it's too late. So be a great steward of your finances. 2024, we're all hoping for more. We're hoping, we need it, especially with this economy. We need it, but need it, and then also be that person that shows other people that, hey, I got it, and it's growing, and I'm able to utilize this to help people, take care of my family, and elevate my life even more. You'll be able to use it more strategically than you ever thought that you could have, when you learn how to handle what you currently have. All right, that's the end of the message. If you like it, you know what to do. Until next time, y'all.